Welcome back to the School of Hip Hop. I am your host, your local Lady Boo. This is the beautiful and very well-versed school board and our special guest. Hey! We've been having a very, spirited discussion about black men, and as you see, we have a panel full of black men that are here with us, so that proves that there are great black men because they're doing something very positive, and hopefully this will be something that you can take to black men in your area and let them know what's going on here in Birmingham. So representing Birmingham, we do have black men that are trying to do something and trying to get other men on board. They say calling all brothers. I'm not sure that brothers are just black. They may be white, they may be pink, they may be brown, tan, yellow. I'm not sure, but we will find out in just a few moments. But before we went to the break, I asked a question to my sisters, the females, the ladies. We deal with, and I say deal with black men. Deal with. Notice my terminology. Notice my wordplay. We deal with black men. So when I say that, I'm sure that's how they deal with us too, but it's not about us tonight. It's about you. Okay? Okay. So, dealing with black men, I asked about some of the things that you have to deal with, or some of the issues. I asked you what is the biggest issue. Did I get an answer on that?
I think Black gave a good response.
You just like her response because she was talking about jobs, and you have a job, so.
There was a time when I didn't have a job.
There was a time, so tell me about that time. Did you feel like less of a man?
Yeah, actually I did for a minute, but I didn't let that negative spirit linger in my mind. You know, I prayed about it. I didn't worry about it because you can't do both. You're going to pray, you're going to worry, but you can never do both. Okay. So I worked on what I needed to work on, which was my resume, and I stayed on that computer. I stayed out there until I found that job, and I took what was available to me, although I didn't like it. It didn't matter what I didn't like. I got to eat. So I was going to do whatever I had to do to survive because I can't go home back home to mama. There wasn't nobody I could turn to. I don't look to my friends to help me. Eric helps himself. So I have to motivate me to do what I have to do if you want something.
Hold that. So women, doesn't that sound like the man, the model man that you want because of that aspect of him having a job?
That's not the average young 25, 30, 40. That's not the average man.
40, 50.
And I wasn't going to try to sell no drugs to do nothing because I felt I'd get caught.
Now I'm going to say I've been in that predicament where they say you don't have a job and you feeling down or whatever. Yeah, I didn't feel like that. I felt empowered, like I could actually run for my dreams.
Okay.
Then the reality hit me that I'm black. And I'm black. And my opportunity was kind of limitless. And when you're dealing with black people, paying you is a problem because the white folks pay a little better.
Okay. So we make valid points. Women, I want to know about the issues that we really deal with. Y'all being quiet. Let me get real with you so that y'all get real with me and let them know what the issues are. We already discussed mama's boys as black boys. They are mama's boys, but they have raised by mamas, right?
Can't stand their mamas.
Can't stand it.
See? Alright. Second thing. Black men have baggage that they don't accept. White men don't mind going to lay on the couch. Black men won't.
The standard's too high.
Oh. Or is it pride? Okay. So then,
definitely pride.
Another thing, black men are comfortable with having discussions like this about the issues and the past of black men, but not really building a great future for black men.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Not yet.
We're on us right now.
Not yet. Not yet. Another thing, understanding and communication. Do black men know how to communicate?
No. Absolutely not.
They're dictators.
They don't. They don't know how to
compromise. Compromise is not in their vocabulary.
Yeah. Not at all.
Well,
man, how does this make you feel?
That has a lot to do when you're
I think they're speaking from an individual point of view.
I think they're speaking for themselves. I understand where they're coming from. I think they're speaking for themselves. When you were raised in the house and the woman was the one that was ruling over you, and then when you went to school, your teachers were women. Once you got out and got your own, the woman ain't going to tell me what to do no more. I'm a man now. You know, I tell you what to do. So a lot of them take on that because that's the persona that you have about being a man, that machoism, and not being able to understand that. When you're dealing with a woman, you have to compromise. You even have to compromise at work.
And women have to compromise.
Oh, they do. They do more than us.
Marco?
I want to back up 1 second to where Black was saying earlier, you know what I'm saying, about the mama boy thing. Because I think if a man respect his mama, he gonna respect his girl. You know what I'm saying? That's a real man.
That's supposed to be right. But that's not in all cases.
And it's a difference in your mama's boy and a respectable black man.
A
mama's boy, I'm not fixing to wipe your booty for you.
Well, you know that's a difference.
I mean, I'm not fixing to hold no black man hand.
See,
You want to be a man, I'm let you.
I'm not talking about Tyrese baby boy. I'm talking about you got respect for your mom. You might go around your mom. You show her respect. You value your opinion sometimes. You know, now she don't run your life.
Or understanding the relationship. I think women, and it's probably not even just a black thing. It might be a Caucasian and Chinese thing too. I don't know. But the thing of where you may not have the best relationship with your mother, but when a man takes on a woman in any particular manner, your mother becomes more connected. Y'all wouldn't like that?
Blocker.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead, we'll explain it. Keep going. Keep going.
What
You
you trying to
had
say? Blocker? You trying to say the mom will come a blocker?
blocking.
Anyway.
I'm with your son. So which means you need to clip the umbilical cord, stay out his business, let him handle his, let it go.
Man, do
That's
y'all
a
like
universal.
that?
That's
I
a
would
universal
disagree with that.
problem.
'Cause my mom was
Hey,
That's
like,
universal.
my
That's
mom-
not just black folk.
My mom never
Hey,
put
Dad.
my business like that. Me and my mom have a great relationship. Like, we tell each other some of everything, but we have our boundaries. But I mean, she don't get in my business. I don't get in her business. She might know a couple of certain things. I might know certain things, but as far as all of my relationship and trying to give me advice on it, we don't cross them boundaries. So,
Well, I think that's just one individual relationship.
Exactly, like you said, it's individual.
I've been very quiet. And we went to school, boy, and as a mama's boy, a man that's been married 11 years to a woman with 3 children. It all comes about the synergy of building that relationship between the mother and your wife or your girlfriend.
Okay.
So it takes time, and it was some growing pains through that process, but once they get to each other, know each other, understand each other, there's love. So, I mean, my mother, I probably don't talk to her as much as I used to as a man, but my wife does. They go shopping. So I think that's a process, and you know, there's nothing wrong with being a mama's boy.
Women, can we waive that? Can we say, okay, if it turns out that way?
If it turns out that way, that's fine.
But typically, it doesn't.
No, typically it doesn't.
Because I mean, do y'all
But see, I got my mother raised
Different
me.
generation
Right?
too. You have to look at.
I was married. My wife died. We were married 29 years, and she died of lung cancer. My mother taught her how to cook on the telephone. Right? They talked every day. In the morning, Mama would call and wake her up, and the last thing before they went to bed at night, they talked to each other. I would go a week, 3-4 days, I wouldn't talk to Mama. But my wife talked to my Mama twice a day, every day. And they had an excellent relationship.
Let me get on that. They talk every day, twice a day. Is that her? Women, let me come back to you.
Now that,
Is that I need to make a point. This is one of those points that you might not like, you might, I'm not sure.
I'll tell you if I don't.
But it's that substitution. You know, well, I'm not where I should be as a man, and I feel like if I get these two women, the women that apparently mean the most to me, they can help me better me, because now they're together, they're not fighting, and you know, I'm not really the center of attention anymore. So I can do me, they can do them, they can help me. Doesn't it kind of turn into that?
I mean, just to be honest, I got my own mama to worry about.
I
For
want to
real,
deal with
like
your
I don't
mama.
want to. That's your crazy mama. I got my own crazy mama. Now we get married. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, your crazy mama, my crazy mama. Okay. Now we get married, and okay, she come over every once in a while. Or whatever. I just want men to understand how to keep your mother in her place, in her boundaries, because you come in at the house with a key unannounced. That's not cool.
That's not
I'm with
cool.
you on that, Black.
One, we're gonna do one more second on this.
Just real quick, Black, and I appreciate what you said, because there's a time in that marriage, and my father actually taught me this. There's a nucleus, and there's the wife, and there's the husband. Everybody else,
It's on the next
in-laws on the next level. So there is a time when you have to make sure that nucleus and that bond stays intact.
Right.
And that is proper what you're saying, but there's also interaction with the in-laws at some time.
And at the center of that is a man being a man. And you made a statement a few minutes ago about, see, I think until we as black men define what a man is, and forget about all these other folks, including black women, forget about everybody else, we come together as black men and we define what a man is. Now we got a standard. The people who want to define what a man is for us want to define it in their best interest. In their best interest.
Okay. I'm coming to you now anyway, because this is just one of the very, very, very minor things. A lot of people may not even get married. They may not even have to ever deal with mamas. I don't care to meet your mama. Who cares? But there is something very important. Black men being a unit. The unity among black men. In order to lead, you have to have some unity. and you can't lead if you scatter, right? So you all are calling.
Yeah, and before I say, I just want to make one quick 30 seconds.
Don't talk about it.
No, it's not.
Quickly,
okay.
Go ahead.
I think that one thing that has to happen, I think that the disintegration of the black family is based on also a point that we have to mention, the fact that black men have not been taught how to be men, and that generation after generation, that information is lost, so they don't know how to be providers. Also, on the flip side of it, black women have not been taught the same values as the mothers. Most black women don't cook. But, you know, most black women don't know how to be domesticated, maintain their house, and they don't know how the science of how to build a black man up. If a black man is broke down or beat down, you can't just slap him and then break him down. You got to build him up in a very creative way, because doing it that way avoids conflict, it avoids domestic spouse, it avoids fights, all of that type of stuff. So that's what I'm saying. So that rites of passage, we got to pass those things back on the black men, because if you do that, then the families will not be dissolved. But what your grandmother knew, unfortunately, more likely your daughter won't know, because of the information has been passed on. So that's the root. That's the root of it. But black men working together, calling all brothers is. We were very inspired by the Million Man March, and we were inspired by. We saw that image of black men, 2 million black men together, no fight. No cussing out, no shooting, no stabbing. Most times you get 10 people in a room together, somebody gonna get hurt. But we had over 2 million that were there that weren't hurt. So we wanted to inspire. So this group that we're in the process of developing as a nucleus has pastors, has community organizers, has political people, has musicians. All these type of folks want to come together, brother. Yeah, and what kind?
Okay.
Black brothers.
So that's
so they'll add on what I'm about to say, and
they'll add on.
Okay. So black brothers, calling all of them. We gonna call them together and do what? What are we doing?
First thing we need to do is find out where everybody want to work. See, all the brothers I know want to do something. It's just there's no place to engage. You know, there's no formal organization to say, how many of y'all want to help the high schools? Okay. Then we can go to the high schools and say, we got 15 brothers who live in the Smithfield area who want to do something to help Parker. What you need them to do?
Okay.
We have to do the same thing with crime. Some of us have to go on the corner and say, Black, can I talk to you for a second? Will you come down and listen to what we're talking about? Because we're trying to build a community.